Breaking right now, Iran has lost control. Iranian drones just struck Dubai International Airport, the world's busiest airport for international travel, is burning in flames. Fuel tanks exploding, thick black smoke covering the sky, flights suspended, thousands of passengers running in total chaos. This is not a drill. The Gulf War just turned terrifying. Will Dubai burn next? Is this the moment the conflict spills beyond borders and engulfs the entire region? Stay tuned, because what happens in the next hour could change everything. Welcome to Power Clash Report. We are interrupting our scheduled coverage because a development has just emerged that could fundamentally alter the trajectory of this entire crisis. Right now, in the skies over the United Arab Emirates, in the control rooms of global aviation, and in the capitals of every nation with citizens stranded on the tarmac, a question is being asked with increasing urgency. Has the conflict in the Middle East just crossed a point of no return? We are moving beyond the viral footage and the sensational headlines to examine what actually happened at Dubai International Airport, what the strategic stakes really are, and what Iran losing control could mean for the region, for global travel, and for you. We will analyze verified reports from aviation authorities, satellite imagery, official statements from the UAE and Iran, and expert assessments of drone warfare capabilities. We will assess the military logic behind targeting a civilian aviation hub, the economic ripple effects of disrupting one of the world's busiest transit points, and the human cost of escalation. And we will answer the question that matters most. Is this a calibrated strike with a specific objective or the opening move in a wider regional conflagration? Stay with me until the end, because understanding this story is not just about geopolitics. It is about the safety of your loved ones traveling abroad, the stability of global supply chains, and the fragile mechanisms that keep conflict from consuming us all. Let us begin with the facts. Dubai International Airport, DXB, is not just another airport. It is the world's busiest airport for international passenger traffic, handling over 87 million travelers annually. It is a critical hub for global aviation, connecting east and west, north and south. It is also a symbol of the UAE's economic success, a testament to decades of investment in infrastructure, security, and diplomacy. An attack on this facility, therefore, is not just a security incident. It is a political statement, an economic strike, and a psychological operation designed to project power and instill fear. On March 18, 2026, multiple sources reported explosions and fires at Dubai International Airport. Footage circulating on social media shows thick black smoke rising from the vicinity of cargo or fuel facilities, emergency vehicles responding to the scene, and passengers being evacuated from terminals. The UAE's General Civil Aviation Authority confirmed a security incident involving unmanned aerial vehicles and stated that emergency protocols had been activated. Initial reports suggest that the attack targeted peripheral infrastructure, possibly fuel storage or cargo facilities, rather than passenger terminals or active runways. However, the disruption has been significant. Dozens of flights have been diverted, delayed, or canceled, stranding thousands of passengers and disrupting global travel networks. Now, let us examine the claim that Iranian drones were responsible. This attribution has spread rapidly across social media and some partisan media outlets. The logic behind the claim is understandable. Iran possesses a diverse arsenal of unmanned aerial vehicles, including the Shahed 136 loitering munition and the Mohajer 6 reconnaissance strike drone, both of which have ranges exceeding 1,000 kilometers, sufficient to reach the UAE from Iranian territory. Iran has also demonstrated a willingness to use drones against regional adversaries, including attacks on Saudi oil facilities in 2019 and alleged plots against UAE targets in the past. In this context, an attack on Dubai Airport could be interpreted as an escalation in Iran's campaign of asymmetric retaliation. However, interpretation is not confirmation. As of this recording, no official source, including the UAE government, the United States Central Command, or independent open-source intelligence analysts, has definitively attributed the attack to Iran. The UAE's statement carefully referred to unmanned aerial vehicles without naming a perpetrator. Iran, for its part, has not claimed responsibility. In the absence of verified attribution, this claim remains speculative. This uncertainty is itself a weapon in modern conflict. It creates confusion, delays response, and allows multiple narratives to compete for dominance. Let us talk about the tactical and strategic dimensions. If Iran did conduct this attack, what would that signal? First, it would represent a significant escalation in targeting methodology. Previous Iranian drone operations in the region have focused on military or energy infrastructure. Targeting a major civilian aviation hub crosses a threshold into attacks on civilian transportation networks. This carries profound legal, ethical, and strategic implications. International humanitarian law requires distinction between military and civilian objects. Deliberately targeting a civilian airport would violate these principles and could trigger widespread condemnation, even from nations that have been critical of the UAE or Western policies. Second, it would signal a shift towards psychological warfare. Dubai Airport is not just a transit point. It is a symbol of globalization, prosperity, and connectivity. An attack on this facility is designed to generate maximum media coverage, sow fear among travelers, and demonstrate Iran's ability to strike deep into the heart of its adversary's economic infrastructure. The goal would not just be to cause physical damage, but to undermine confidence in the security of global travel and trade. Third, it would risk rapid escalation. The UAE is a close ally of the United States, hosting American military personnel and serving as a key logistics hub for regional operations. An attack on Emirati soil could trigger a direct U.S. military response, potentially drawing in other Gulf Arab states and expanding the conflict geographically. This is the dangerous logic of escalation. One strike begets another, and the cycle can quickly spiral beyond the control of any single actor. But let us also consider alternative explanations. Drone attacks can be conducted by non-state actors, proxy groups, or even internal dissidents with access to commercial drone technology. The UAE faces security challenges from multiple directions, including extremist groups and regional rivals. An attack could be intended to provoke a specific response, discredit a government, or shift public attention. Without verified forensic evidence, signal intercepts, or credible claims of responsibility, we cannot definitively attribute the cause. This uncertainty is itself a feature of modern hybrid warfare. Now, let us address the economic stakes, because this is where the impact becomes personal. Dubai International Airport is a linchpin of global aviation. It handles over 2,400 flights per day, connecting more than 240 destinations across 6 continents. A sustained disruption would have immediate ripple effects. Airlines would face costly diversions and cancellations. Passengers would incur expenses and missed connections. Cargo shipments would be delayed, and tourism revenue would decline. For the UAE, aviation and tourism account for a significant portion of GDP. For global businesses, disruptions in Dubai can delay supply chains that depend on just-in-time delivery. For travelers, the uncertainty can mean stranded families, missed business opportunities, and heightened anxiety. This is how an attack on a single airport can affect your plans, your finances, and your peace of mind. Let us examine the human dimension. Behind every headline about explosions and evacuations are real people. The passengers running in chaos, the airport workers facing danger, the families waiting for news. These are not abstract statistics. They are individuals whose lives have been upended by violence. In moments like these, it is essential to remember that geopolitical analysis is not an abstract exercise. It is about understanding the forces that shape human suffering and security. At Power Clash Report, we commit to covering the strategy without losing sight of the stakes. We will verify before we amplify, and we will humanize before we politicize. There is also the information warfare dimension. In the digital age, the first narrative to spread often becomes the dominant one, regardless of accuracy. The claim that Iran is responsible may serve multiple purposes for different actors. For hardliners in Tehran, it could justify further escalation and rally domestic support. For partisan media elsewhere, it could fuel anti-Iranian sentiment or, conversely, cheerleading for maximum pressure. For malicious actors, it could be an opportunity to sow discord, manipulate markets, or test information resilience. As consumers of information, our responsibility is to seek verification, consult credible sources, and resist the urge to share unconfirmed reports. This is not about censorship. It is about clarity. We will update this coverage as verified information emerges. Let us consider the regional implications. The Gulf Arab states have invested heavily in security cooperation, intelligence sharing, and integrated air defense systems. An attack on Dubai could prompt a unified response from the Gulf Cooperation Council, potentially including collective military measures or economic sanctions against the perceived perpetrator. However, it could also expose divisions. Some states may prefer diplomatic de-escalation, while others may advocate for a harder line. The region is a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and interdependent security concerns. A single attack can ripple through this web in unpredictable ways. What about the global response? Major powers like the United States, China, and Russia have significant stakes in Gulf stability. The U.S. has security commitments to the UAE and has previously responded to attacks on allied infrastructure. China, as a major trade partner with both Iran and the UAE, may seek to mediate or at least avoid taking sides. Russia, which has its own energy interests and geopolitical rivalry with the West, may seek to exploit the situation to weaken Western unity. The international community would likely urge restraint, but without consensus on attribution or response, diplomatic efforts may struggle to gain traction. So what happens next? There are several possible scenarios. In the most contained, investigations conclude the attack was conducted by a non-state actor or proxy without direct state sponsorship, and the incident does not trigger wider retaliation. In a more escalatory scenario, the UAE or its allies attribute the attack to Iran and launch counterstrikes, triggering a cycle of action and reaction that expands the conflict. In a diplomatic scenario, third-party mediators, perhaps Oman, Qatar, or the UN, intervene to de-escalate, using this incident as a catalyst for renewed dialogue. The outcome depends on intelligence assessments, political calculations, and the fragile mechanisms of crisis communication. What can you do as an informed citizen? First, stay informed through credible sources. Follow official statements from governments, international organizations, and reputable news agencies. Be skeptical of viral claims that lack verification. Second, understand the broader context. This is not an isolated event. It is part of a complex, multi-layered conflict with deep historical roots and global ramifications. Third, engage constructively. Share verified information. Support humanitarian efforts for those affected by violence. Advocate for policies that prioritize diplomacy and civilian protection. At Power Clash Report, we believe that knowledge is power. Understanding geopolitical events helps us make better decisions, protect our families, and contribute to a more stable world. Before we conclude, let us recap the key points. An attack involving unmanned aerial vehicles occurred at Dubai International Airport, causing fires, disruptions, and evacuations. The UAE has confirmed a security incident but has not publicly attributed responsibility. Speculation about Iranian involvement is widespread but unconfirmed by official sources. The targeting of a major civilian aviation hub carries significant strategic, legal, and psychological implications. The economic and human stakes are substantial, affecting travelers, businesses, and global connectivity. The path forward depends on verification, restraint, and responsible communication from all parties. The choice before the world's leaders is stark. They can allow fear and speculation to drive policy, risking a spiral of escalation. Or they can rely on intelligence, verification, and strategic patience to manage crises without surrendering to panic. History will judge this moment not by the headlines that spread fastest, but by the wisdom with which they were assessed. As citizens of an interconnected world, we have both the right and the responsibility to demand clarity over chaos, evidence over emotion, and truth over virality. If this analysis provided value, please like this video, subscribe to Power Clash Report, and share it with someone who needs to understand these developments. Turn on notifications so you do not miss our updates as this story evolves. In the description below, you will find links to official sources, fact-checking resources, and further reading on this developing situation. We are committed to bringing you signal in a world of noise. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay safe. And remember, in a world of increasing uncertainty, clarity is the most valuable asset we have.